Alright, welcome to the tutorial for the hardest combat challenge in Batman Arkham Origins. A few things to disclaim is that, one, don't feel bad if you don't get this right away. First time I did it, it took me 3 hours. Second, I would recommend attempting this challenge after you've acquired the shock gloves and the glue grenade, because it's going to give you 2 more combat variations, and the shock gloves it's just a hell of a lot easier to rack up your combo meter. Third, I'd recommend doing it on normal difficulty. On easy difficulty, I don't think it'll let you get in enough hits. The only place I know you can do this on easy difficulty is back at Blackgate, but that's going to be a hell of a lot harder. Alright, before I begin with this tutorial, I have to give a big thank you to Screechy because his strategy helped me complete the challenge, and I'm mostly going to be redoing his strategy in this video. Also, for those of you who are unfamiliar with how the Arkham games work, most of the variations I'm going to be doing are gained through upgrades, which are gained through collecting XP, which is gained through completing the game 100%. Also, I'm going to be listing the inputs in the description below. Alright, let's get into the tutorial. Alright, I apologize for the lack of capture card footage, but the challenge I'm going to be showing is rank number 15 in the Shadow Vigilante path. Complete a fight with a medium difficulty or higher with at least a 50x combo meter and 15 variations without being hit. Alright, and the place I'm going to be showing this challenge in is right below the Diamond District logo, as you can see on the map. Alright, in this area I'm going to glide to this pipe, and then I'm going to enter detective vision because it's a good way to know if you've been hit or not, because if you have been hit, obviously you'll lose detective vision, and it's a good way to identify the heavy. Alright, here you can see the heavy outlined in yellow. Sometimes he'll be standing still, other times he'll be moving to the right, and you're going to want to target him with your Shockwave attack. And if he is standing still, then just proceed with what I'm about to do and just kind of hope for the best. But if he is moving to the right, you want to make sure that he's close enough to the other enemies so that they'll be knocked over with your Shockwave attack, but also far enough away so that once they get back up, you won't be immediately surrounded. It's a little hard to explain, but after enough practice, you'll kind of get a feel for it. Alright, so you're going to want to dive bomb down, kind of steer yourself towards the heavy, do your Shockwave attack, and then start attacking the heavy with the beatdown. Alright, and that is 3 variations, the Shockwave, the Cape Stun, and then the beatdown. Alright, so during this beatdown, there are a few things you're going to want to focus on. One is to make sure you counter anybody that comes near you, because that's going to make sure you don't get hit, and it's going to build up your combo meter a little bit. And that, with the beatdown, is going to give you about 22 to 24, which should be enough to activate your shock gloves. And something risky about this beatdown is once you counter somebody, if you just go back to spamming strikes, sometimes Batman won't always go back to the heavy. Sometimes they'll start attacking the other guys, which, if you're not careful, is a good way to lose your combo meter. And if you do lose your combo meter, you might as well start over. And ultimately, it is kind of down to luck. Alright, so here I activate my shock gloves because now what you want to focus on is just building up your combo meter to at least 50. And as you can see here, I kind of go back and forth between the groups and just focus on one enemy at a time. And that's a good way to make sure that you don't get extremely overwhelmed. And obviously, if enemies do get close to you, just do your best to try to counter them as soon as possible. Alright, so once you're at least 50, you can stop with the strikes and just focus on racking up your variations. And the strike, the counter, and the shock glove strike count as 3 more variations. And you'll notice that my combo meter is at red, and when it's high on red, usually that'll allow you to do 2 combo variations in succession before having to build up your combo meter again. And the ones that you're going to want to do are arguably the most dangerous ones. You're going to want to do the special combo Bat Swarm and then the multi-ground takedown in that order. And the reason for that is the special combo Bat Swarm will stun the enemies, and that will leave you open to do the multi-ground takedown. And the nice thing about that is you don't have to knock out any enemies with that. If you just do the movement, that will count for the variation. And I would have done them in succession, but I think that roll I did canceled it out. So you can see here I do the special combo Bat Swarm, then I build up my combo meter, and then I do the multi-ground takedown. And that is a little risky. Usually you don't want to take out too many enemies with that so that you still have enough to do some variations on. Alright, and the next risky variation to do is the special combo takedown. As you can see here, I build up my combo meter and then I do it on that guy. Alright, so the roll I did, or the evade maneuver, the special combo Bat Swarm, the multi-ground takedown, and then the special combo takedown count as 4 more variations. And then the next thing you're going to want to focus on is just keeping your distance while doing some less risky variations. And you're going to want to kind of fall into a repetitive cycle of evading away from the group, do some less risky variations, evade away from the group again, do some more less risky variations. Alright, so I'm going to evade away from the group, do the quickfire battering. Then because there's a smaller crowd, I'm going to do some closer variations. If there's still a large crowd, then just keep your distance and do quickfire batterings until there's a smaller crowd. And then there's the quickfire explosive gel, which I think does have to detonate on someone to count. Then I'm going to hop over that guy and do the ultra cape stun. Alright, because that guy's alone, I'm going to do the backclaw slam. And a bit of advice on the backclaw slam is wait until there's not a lot of guys around to do that move, because it takes longer and you have to get closer to do it. And I've lost count of how many times I got hit while trying to do that move. Next I do the quickfire concussion detonator, and I still evade away just to avoid being hit. Alright, next I'm going to do a slide to trip this guy. That's another variation. So I'm going to do an aerial attack. That's going to take that guy out. And then I'll do a quickfire glue grenade. Then I'm going to do a slide to trip him. What I should have done there is immediately go for a ground takedown, because that's another variation, but I was a little slow, so I just end this fight with a counter. Alright, and if everything went according to plan, you should have just completed the challenge. Congratulations, that's it.